Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you coming on. Thanks for the people that have supported me since the start. I think it was 2012 I started uploading videos. So in this video actually, I want to tell you the second part of my story. And the reason why I want to tell you is because I think it could really help you and it could really inspire you. My channel and what I'm really trying to do with my message is very simple. It's just to encourage people to be brave enough to admit their fears first and then go out and face their fears on a practical level and become fearless. Because I realized from when I first got into improving my life and getting over my social anxiety with people and speaking to women, I was being held back by a tremendous amounts of fear in my life. And I didn't really understand how much it was affecting me, and I didn't realize that there's actually something that you can do about it. And once you start practicing facing your fear, I can't even explain to you in words how empowering, how much confidence it gives you, happiness, it improves. I think it's so undervalued today in society because a lot of people, they don't want to admit that they've got fears, and we've all got fears. But the great thing is we have a choice to face them. So before I get into my story and the second part, because you guys know the first part of my story, or I'll really tell two parts. So the first part of my story, if you first come onto my YouTube channel, suffered with social anxiety disorder, was very shy at school. I got bullied at school. I didn't really get an education at school. I left school, I didn't get any GCSEs. Did a lot of demenial jobs where I didn't enjoy them. They were lower paid jobs. I didn't enjoy the jobs. Suffered with depression on and off all throughout my life. I had a happy childhood at the same time, but I battled what I would say privately with this social anxiety and depression. And I didn't know that other people suffered with it. It made me really just made me down all the time, and I was really scared of connecting with people, and especially with women. So I got to a place in my life at 25 where I started to have suicidal thoughts. That's when I started to feel something's not right in my life. I was quite afraid to ask for help. I was sort of brought up with the values, you know, be strong as a man. You don't really ask for help. You don't really tell people about your business unless it's close family and friends. I didn't really want to worry my mum and dad. I didn't want to ask for a counsellor. I was sort of very sort of wary of doctors and counsellors, and I just thought I'll just push it away and it will go, and it never did. The anxiety, depression never went away, it got worse. And I started to realise I got to sort this out. So the first area that was crippling me, it was killing me, it was destroying me inside, was women. I was wondering, why am I 21 years of age? I've got no girlfriend. I'm not the worst looking guy. You know, I've kind of made friends quite easily growing up, had close friends. And why is it that even though my parents are saying, you know, I'm a nice guy, I'll meet a girl soon, nothing was happening for me. I tried nightclubs, never had any luck with that. Tried online dating, didn't work for me. And started going online looking for stuff, nothing really happened. And when it changed me, I went down the gym, and I was a big Bruce Lee fan. I'm sure a lot of you could relate. I thought if I could work on my physique and improve and get some muscle, because I was very skinny, then I should start attracting women. That didn't work. But I met a guy down the gym who ended up talking to me randomly. I didn't really understand if he was being friendly or not, and it turned out to be a really decent guy. He was excellent with women. And I started watching him talking to women in the gym, on the street, and this really opened up my eyes to seeing what I would call a normal guy that was just being honest with women and confident and getting fantastic results. So I became friends with this guy, and he was the first one to start encouraging me to go and just talk to women. And I realized that a lot of the fears I had were just negative thoughts, things that happened to me at school, being bullied. You know, I took on these negative beliefs, and I didn't ever try and challenge them. I just thought that's just how I am. If a woman doesn't come up to me, and when I started to approach women, I really started to feel I can't believe it. I feel like a different person. I'm actually doing better than I thought. Women are actually, they're actually quite friendly. I'm getting good reactions. And that was the first sort of part on what I would call me starting to actually challenge my mental health. Because at the time I didn't really understand mental health. I never would have associated a little bit of anxiety and depression as a mental health problem. About 20 years ago, it wasn't as available online. There wasn't as many mental health campaigns back then. So I just thought maybe I'm just a little bit strange around people. I'm a bit anxious and nervous, and stuff. So, cut a long story short, after about 2 years spending time with my friend, he became a very good friend. It rubbed off on me. He taught me the fundamentals of how to speak to women. And eventually, within a year and a half of practicing, I got my first girlfriend from meeting her in public. And I didn't use any tricks or any lines. I didn't even have any drinks. I was just sober. And that totally it just opened up my mind to my whole life. And after I started to improve with women, I had no plans. I had no background in business. I've never been educated. I don't come from a family of entrepreneurs. I didn't study business. I had a crazy idea. This is crazy, and I'll be honest with you guys, I was shitting myself deep down at the time to do this. I thought this was suicide, to start putting out YouTube videos and posting up my conversations with women, my approaches, and just putting them out and just seeing what happened, and I didn't really think I was anything special. I started very quickly getting a fan base on YouTube, getting messages from guys all around the world saying, it's really helping me, it's amazing, I'm going through problems with women. And then I started teaching. I taught one-on-one, I taught weekend programs, I started doing seminars, and I came from a terrified place of thinking that, I can't really make eye contact with people. And I just started getting more confident, and that's why I can now break down to you the things I've done. And all I've done, it's simple, anyone can do it. I basically faced my fears in every area and just kept doing it. And I failed at times, of course. The first seminar I ever done, when I spoke publicly in front of people, I got embarrassed, I dried up, but the audience encouraged me. I got a little bit better the next time. And before I knew it, after giving 10 seminars, I was comfortable speaking in front of a room of 30 to 40 to 50 people. And I'm not sounding arrogant or anything like that, but this is the truth. Starting from 25, thinking about committing suicide and ending my life, 3 years later, at 28, I started my own business coaching guys, and by the time I was 29 and a half, I became globally successful. I was making more money a month than I could ever imagine. I quit my job. I found a girlfriend, I fell in love. I moved into a new apartment. I literally changed my life. I became famous in my industry. I was coaching guys from all around the world. I literally every day wanted to pinch myself. I literally was living an incredible life. I never even thought I could get close. So I've gone from a bad place, got into a great place, and that's how a lot of you probably know the name Johnny Berba, the brand. Help millions of people around the world. Haven't just helped guys to get over their anxiety with speaking to women, help men to actually improve with their social anxiety. I've helped them to improve getting a job, going to job interviews. And I know I don't want to confuse you, I'm going to make it simple. What I realized was this anxiety that I had and that people have, we kind of feel like, oh, I've got anxiety with women. But you start to realize that you've actually got anxiety in many places in your life. And the same solution to overcoming your anxiety with talking to women and getting your confidence up, becoming attractive, getting a girlfriend and an honest relationship, that's what you've got to do in all areas of your life. And that's what I did with business. Like I said, I was terrified to quit my 9 to 5 job. People naturally encouraged me around me, don't quit your job, what are you thinking? Dating, coaching, this wasn't really something that was really that heard of at the time. So I literally changed every area of my life, literally improved my mental health. I'm not going to say that my anxiety completely went, but I was definitely over my social anxiety disorder. I could look people in the eye. As I said, I work with hundreds of people. I made a new positive social circle. My relationship with my family got even better than it was. And just living a dream, made loads of viral videos on YouTube, went on hundreds of podcast shows, had a lot of media outlets wanting to interview me. Some of them I turned down. Did a couple of appearances on radio, did an appearance on a TV show. I didn't get to the final stage, but I still did it. Met the most amazing people, friends all around the world. And I certainly didn't think about wanting to end my life anymore, living a dream. I met so many other people. So that's the first part of my story. And that was from age 25, about 24, became successful. And when I got into my 30s, I started to suffer with anxiety again, and I started to think, why is it coming back? Started suffering with depression, started suffering with with paranoia, started thinking that I'm not as confident as I thought, started to lose motivation. I just didn't want to do anything. And then 34 years of age, I had a mental breakdown. And this is something that I never imagined could happen to me. I was aware of mental illness, obviously not judging people. Like most people, I had that sort of attitude that if someone's got a mental illness, they're a bit crazy. They might take out a knife, they might try and kill you like you see on the films. They're going to start shouting and screaming, they're going mental. But it really wasn't like that for me, even though it was a horrible experience. It just started off with having very negative thoughts. I lost my confidence, I was struggling to look people in the eye. All my relationships fell apart. My business completely went down. I didn't have the confidence to teach anymore. I just lost passion for life. My parents, everyone around me started to get concerned. My whole appearance started to deteriorate. And I didn't realize that I was going through I was going through a psychotic episode. So it got to the point where I had to get help. My family said, you've got to get help, friends around me. And I thought, I thought I was kind of normal. Everyone else was kind of a bit strange. So I ended up being, the doctor said, would you like to come into hospital? They just want to check you out. My mum said, I wasn't forced, and I said, sure. I thought I was just going to go into hospital and get an injection, or they're just going to check my heart. Turns out that I wasn't allowed to leave the hospital. And all of a sudden I find myself in a mental hospital, and I was terrified, and I tried to run out and they stopped me. And my whole life I thought my life was over. I thought I'm done, I'm mentally sick, I'm not thinking straight. I was absolutely terrified of people, extremely paranoid. And the doctors started to speak to me, and they said they weren't quite sure what was wrong with me. They didn't actually get a diagnosis, and then they said they realised that I'd gone through what's called a psychotic episode. So thank God I wasn't diagnosed psychotic or schizophrenic, but I was in a hospital and I saw people suffering. And then I started to realise, you know what? I thought that I used to struggle in my life. People don't realise what people go through. And now I'm starting to see a lot of people coming forward, and I thought I could easily not talk about this on YouTube because I'm in a much better place now, thank God. I've almost fully recovered. I'm so happy with the help that I got. I'm going to talk about the amount of people that helped me. But I feel that I'd be a coward, it would be selfish, because I know right now there's so many people out there that are going through what I'm going through. And you know what it feels like when you're going through a psychotic episode? You feel like the most loneliest, terrified person in the world. I'm 6'2", quite a masculine guy, confident, and I felt like a little child. I was scared, and I saw people, they told me in hospital, we've got millionaires in here that have breakdowns. So this can happen to anyone. So all I want to say is I am not a professional mental health worker. So please, I want to help you. I want to share with you what helped me on my recovery. I'm a confidence coach. So first thing I want to say is you've got to get help. And believe me, it was so hard for me to get help. I was the guy that was helping everyone. I was always helping people with their confidence. I was famous, I was successful. I had everything. I had money, I had fame, I had a lovely girlfriend, I had a following on YouTube, I had a very good family. It was so hard to ask for help. Asking for help is the best thing I did. It changed my life, because once you get help, you can get better. And for a while, I took medication, which really helped me. And before, I was totally against it. And it's made me stronger. It's made me appreciate things more. I feel more confident now than before when I didn't have the breakdown. And the support I got was amazing. The way I got treated by the doctors, they loved me in there. I'll tell you a funny story. When they were giving me counselling, they were asking me what was my job before. And I said, well, I was a famous dating coach. I've got a YouTube channel. They didn't believe me, because obviously when you're not well, you say a lot of things that are not true because you're a little bit delusional. So what the doctors were like, really? I was like, when they checked me out, they were like, oh God, this guy's telling the truth. He really is. And I got treated so well in the hospital. There's a lot of stigma. I got treated so well in there. I just want to say thanks to the people that helped me. I won't name everyone, but I had support workers. Doctors couldn't believe how fast my recovery was. And I'm not making myself a tough guy. I will not quit. I've been to hell and back, and that's why I'm coming back. Going to continue with what I was doing, helping guys with their dating and relationship confidence, but I want to encourage people. I want to get the message out, and I can't solve every person's mental health problem, but if this can help one person or 10 people, it would really make me feel good. And I'm just so blessed to have got my mental health back, to got my confidence back, and it's been hard. It has been hard. It took me about 2 years to recover. So if you're going through it, don't lose hope, because when you get help, you can get better. And I saw a lot of people in hospital that got better, and I've seen people obviously just that weren't friends that actually haven't got help, and they some people deteriorate, and that's heartbreaking. And I've seen it. Trust me, when you see what people go through mentally, women, men, old, young, mental health doesn't care for if you're a millionaire, if you're poor, rich, and it is a silent killer. And for many years, when I was going through my troubles, I wouldn't speak about it, and that's how it gets worse. It only gets better when you speak about it. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I used to before. I'm not embarrassed. Look, if people are gonna judge me for it, that's their problem. That's just nasty. But I want to get this out, and I want to help people. And this is not for promotional reasons. I'm not trying to make money out of this. That's for my separate stuff. So, you know, I'm kind of glad I went for it. It made me a stronger person. So, number one, this is what you got to do. You got to get help. You got to get as much support from your family. I would say listen to the doctors and the people around you. If they encourage you to take medication for a while to get you back on your feet, take it. What helped me so much was therapy, talking to people. One thing I'm going to say as well, and this is tough love. You have to want to get better. You have to be accountable. You can't just give up. So I really wanted to get better. I started to exercise. I got into the boxing gym. That's why I started putting out a lot of boxing videos. Boxing fitness massively improves your mental health and facing your fears, you know, and just, you know, looking after yourself. And if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have got fitter in the gym. I wouldn't have got a better diet. You know, it's made me fearless, because now I'm thinking, you know, like once you go through that, what, talking to a girl is scary? No, not really. You know, getting criticized on YouTube, making a video, it's nothing. It gives you so much confidence and courage. And you know, I just want to say as well, if it wasn't for Tyson Fury coming out and talking about his mental health struggle and seeing the way that he recovered, it wouldn't have probably gave me the courage to come forward, because if he can go through it and it can happen to the heavyweight champion, then there's no shame in me coming forward. And many other people have come forward, and we need to talk about this more. We do. I know there's a lot of people talking about it, but you know, there's so many people that are losing their life to a silent killer because men are too afraid to come forward in case they're judged. But we've got to get past this. It's killing people, and it was really troubling me for many years of my life. So that's my story, and I've had the strength to come back from it. Like I said, the doctors couldn't believe how quick I recovered, because I took all the necessary steps: counselling, medication, getting back in the gym, getting my diet right, getting support from my family, you know. And you know, I'm not bragging. After I come out of hospital a few weeks, I was back dating again, because when I was going through it, my mind was saying a girl would never date me. You know, I'm not going to be able to have friends again. People are going to think, oh, he's crazy. But good people don't think that. And obviously, you can get better. But if you don't look after yourself, then you'll deteriorate. And you know, and I've been watching documentaries. Psychosis and episodes are very common. Stress can do it. The doctors didn't fully know what the cause was. Stress, if you know, get stressed out, if you have a break up in a relationship, you know, obviously a death in the family, like this can happen to anyone. And like I said, I never thought this could happen to me. Like when I was going through it, I was like, this can't be me, this can't be real. It's like being in a movie. 1 minute, I'm on top of the world, you know, confident, successful, and then next minute, I'm in a mental hospital, sleeping, getting up. But they treated me well in there. I met friends in there. And I just want to say thanks to the hospital that I was in, the Gordon Hospital, because these people saved my life. Because if I didn't get the help, I could have ended up to a point where there could have been no return. So it's gruesome, but like I've always said, I tell the truth, I speak my mind, I encourage people to face their fears. And what I would say to you today is, you might not have a mental health problem, But what are you keeping inside of you that you're too afraid to get out? Because people have got dreams that they don't speak about. So you're losing out on a job interview and getting a good job. Most guys spend their whole life never saying to a girl, do you know what, you're nice, would you come out of me? It's just facing the fear. And everyone goes through struggles. Most people don't talk about it, or when they do talk about it, their life changes. So one thing I want to say, I don't need any sympathy. I really don't. I'm in a great place, even though I appreciate the support. I'm doing this because I had so much help, and it's my way of giving back to the mental health, whatever you want to call it. It's all over the world. And even before I had the breakdown, I've got messages from all around the world. And like I said, I'm not going to let mental health beat me. I'm bigger than mental health. Mental health, just because you've got a mental illness doesn't mean you can't be successful. Most of the most talented, successful people in history had mental health problems. They had psychosis or bipolar. Nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not like, you know, getting headache and complaining. It's an illness. So social anxiety is a mental health problem, depression, but you can overcome it. So I don't know what you're going to get from that. It's like I said, it's hardest thing I've been through, but it's changed my life. It's made me stronger, and since then things have got much better and better. So I just hope that you can feel you're not on your own, because when I was going through this, I felt like I was the only one going through it. And honestly, once you go into the hospital and you get help, and I've made more friends now, and I'm not going to mention all my friends' names, but a lot of people say, most people I know have been suicidal, my friends, entrepreneurs at some point. We all go through it. Life's difficult. You know, it's one thing on social media, people showing all the good bits. I've shown all the good bits, but we all go through struggles. It can happen to you right now. It can happen to your friend, it can happen to your mum, your dad, your sister. So I don't wish it on anyone, but you can recover. And I never quit. I continue to believe in myself, and I'm happy to be back. And I'm going to continue raising awareness. But like I said, please guys, I appreciate your messages. I am not a mental health worker, so if you need help, I can't help if you've got severe mental health problems. I can help you, encouraging you. I would encourage you to seek professional help, and that's what I've done. But I can help people with their confidence and their anxiety. So I'm proud to say, I put my hands up, I have suffered with mental health since I was younger. I just didn't know about it, and it just happened to get out of hand when things got stressful for me. So thank God I don't have a diagnosis. It was an episode. But if I did have a diagnosis, I would say I'd be proud to say it, because it's changed my life. If I didn't have the mental health problem, I would never have been successful. There would be no need to try and improve. I would have just settled for a normal life. I would never have met all you guys. Never would have dated lovely women that I've dated. I wouldn't have been able to make money. It has changed me, and it's gave me a passion, a will to win, and yeah, I don't know. So that's the story, and I hope it helps you guys. And I'm making a comeback. I took some time out, I had to recover, get myself well. That's why I wasn't very consistent with the videos, but I will be back, all right? So become fearless. Have the courage to have a difficult conversation. Last thing I'm going to say, it feels uncomfortable when you're going to get a difficult conversation out. But like I said, it might not always be a mental health. You might want to do a public talk, but you're too scared in case people are going to judge you. When you do it, you feel great. Get out what you're going to get out, and then your life will change. Become fearless, and I'll see you next video. Thanks for listening.